tuned in to What a Baltimore Online Radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed are of the host and not of Lady J Media. Thank you and enjoy the show.
I know you do. I know you do, because that's what I do. I give you that kind of love that makes you come back. I'm your pusher, baby. I'm your pusher.
Hey, little black boy, let me holler at you for a minute. I was once in your place, you should respect what I say. Some of the things I'm about to tell you just may save your life in the world right now. Much is right. Little black boy, you're gonna see and experience all sorts of things, but don't let your mind be locked in the chains. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Spitfire Poetry Shutdown. I'm your host, John Hansboro. Today is Wednesday, April 20th, 420. I hope everybody is having a happy 420 holiday. I know I definitely am. Listen, I got a great show today, y'all. It's a lot going on. I got a plethora of information to share. But without further ado, I have a gentleman on tonight that I can explain him in so many different words. He's a publisher, he's a published author, he's a poet, he's a spoken word artist, he's a CEO. He's just a dope brother, man. Good vibe. I met him about a month ago at an open mic. Shout out to my sister Shanice Jacobs. But without further ado, guys, we got my brother Vic, the CEO, in the house today. Vic, the CEO. How you doing, Vic?
How you doing, bro? How y'all doing out there?
Everybody's good, man. How you doing, man? How you doing? I know you've been moving around a lot.
Yeah, you got to see it yourself, man. I'm tired. Like, literally just finished working, ain't even make it home. Got to talk to you in the car right now.
That's all good. That's how hustlers move, man. Man, look, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. For those of you who don't know, I had his better half on my show about maybe 2 weeks ago for Women's Poetry Month, Anna Aneska Kanzet. And they have a publishing company called Four Authors. They publish books, they write books, they have a number of books under their belt. I have the pleasure of being in a play that they have written that's called I Am Woke. Now I'm telling y'all, listen now, this right here is this is different right here. This is a poetic theatrical theater play.
We gotta get it right, John. Poetical experience.
Right.
It's gonna be a poetical experience.
A poetical experience. It is. Y'all don't want to miss this, man. This is special. This is powerful. I have a pleasure to be a part of it. The way it's written and put together is absolutely crazy. Shout out to Anna Kanzet, because this is really going to be good. This takes place on June 9th, so y'all don't want to miss that. We're going to be giving y'all details leading up to that all month, for the rest of this month and next month leading up to that. But it's gonna be pretty dope. So y'all don't want to miss that. If you love poetry and you love plays and stuff like that, I'm telling you, this gonna have everything for you. So Vic, man, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into it, man, and how you start spitting some of that fire you got.
Crazy thing, right? I got a cousin. This is one of my favorite cousins too, right? Like a year older, my cousin Nod. And when we were young, he caught me in my mother's basement off of Frankfurt. We was living at the time, rapping. I was in my mother's bedroom actually, and he heard me and he was like, "Is that you?" I said, "Yeah," because I was shy. I was like 10, 11 years old. was too shy to let people hear me. He said, "You actually good," and I believed him. You know what I'm saying? We were close together, so when he said that, I believed him. And after that, I just started cultivating my craft, and over the years, I just got better at it and just enjoyed it. It's a love to be able to get your story out, be able to speak what you're feeling and what you're going through. You know, to share that with people.
Right, right. Would you say that writing is a form of therapy for you? Is that how you like deal with a lot of stuff?
Oh, most definitely, because most people, we tend to bottle things in, and it's sometimes it's easy to just keep things to yourself. You
Right.
know, and that's a good way to get things out. In fact, me and my lady, we had started a company for my daughter. She kind of stepped back from it right now, called Me3 Media Productions. And that was a big thing that we use as my therapy was our like catchphrase. And it could
Right.
be music is my therapy, art is my therapy, dancing is my therapy, whatever it is that had to deal with the arts that help you to cope with and develop your mind. That was your therapy, and it's what we was promoting and pushing. We're gonna get back to it when she's ready, and we'll probably pull some other people in to help keep it going because I know there's something she's gonna want to hold on to.
Absolutely, absolutely. How did the publishing company come about with 4 authors that you and your lady friend do? How did that come about?
Well, this actually okay. So my missus, right? We known each other since freshman year of high school, you know.
Okay.
And it's crazy because back then I told her we was gonna be rocking together, and now we have a 2-year-old.
Wow.
So we both had some similar situations coming up. We both dealt with them differently, her being a female, me being a male, and we were in touch and out of touch over the years a lot. Like she really ducked and hid from me. And she finally stopped running, and we had this beautiful son together. And it so happens we're both writers. You know, she was involved with music. In fact, one of her brother-in-law, he goes by Rooftop Drop, came up with Scar Bond. He was out the Northeast, came up and all that. D Block Entertainment, and she was doing music with him, pushing his stuff back in the day. They was doing numbers, doing their thing, you know. And it's crazy because me and her always had a connection. We both write. We both like music. We both like poetry. We both use it as therapy. So when we linked back up together in like 2018, and we ended up starting to do some business together. And what happened was kind of found out she had published her own book. Now, mind you, 2008, I tried to publish a book for my brother. It didn't pan out right, but it's like we had similar goals, similar interests. So
Mhm.
it was only right that we link together and put our resources together and our minds together and just build from there. Now we have like 9 books out, 7 paperback, 2 ebooks. We're about to drop part 2 of her first urban fiction, Poison Ivy. I think it was her first published novel too, wasn't it? Yep, her first published novel. We also about to drop a children's book. God, God Won't Answer by
Mm.
C.L. DeLoach. That's literally in the works right now. We're taking care of illustrators now, so we have that book out. We'll have more things about that author because she has a website also. We're also about to publish my first urban fiction. I really wasn't going to write urban books, but it was a reason why I started putting this one together, and I decided to put it from a perspective different than what we're used to hearing. Instead of always the kingpin coming through with 10 trucks full of cocaine and all this, my story's not going to go that way. I want to give the perspective from a street hustler that uses his mind and not the drugs and the force by the gun to acquire money, because they always try to downplay our intelligence. And it's crazy because even when you talk about something negative, we got to be the worst of the negative, that we took it to the lowest common denominator. And I got to
Mhm.
show in everything I do that we as a people, we are innovators, we are intelligent, we are creative, and what we put our minds to do, we will succeed at.
Absolutely, absolutely. One thing I do like about you, bro, you and Aneski, y'all drive, y'all got amazing drive. That shit fuels me. You know what I
I
mean?
appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, y'all definitely have amazing drive. And I don't, as a matter of fact, y'all are really the first couple that I've really met who both can spit, who both are poets. You know what I mean? And that's powerful in itself, right there. I can't imagine that. I know y'all bounce ideas off each other all day and all night long. You know what I mean? And that's got to be something that's got to be awesome because iron sharpens iron. We know that. So
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean?
Man,
Both of
it's
y'all are
awesome.
absolutely good
It's
poets.
amazing. Sometimes it's terrifying. Sometimes it's frustrating because
Right.
we always come up with some good stuff, man. But we bump heads, argue, fuss, scratch, and fight each other the whole time. Not physically, of course. I never put my hands on the ladies. I don't do
Of
that.
course not.
But
Right, right.
we go at it. You know, sometimes we shut down on each other. It never lasts, though. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I look at it and say, I don't know why we argue. We ain't gonna do but kiss and make up later. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? But
right.
it happens. You know, we both have our own process, and sometimes our process, like two rams, just bump heads with each other. But we always find a way to work it through mutual respect for each other, a sincere, deep love for each other, the gratitude and appreciation for having each other in our lives. So it always ends up working out. Like even in the worst seeming situation, it ends up working out every time. And, you know, most of the times I tell her that, you know, I bet you it's gonna work out. And she hates it when I say it. She hates it.
That's a beautiful thing, man. It really is.
Yes, it is.
Well, look, we're gonna get right into it because I've been waiting for this, man. So whenever you want to spit, whatever's on your heart, whatever you want to get off your chest, on my show is No Holds Barred. We go in artist art.
Go ahead, man. You know I'm gonna ask you first.
What's that?
What you want here, brother?
You already know what I want to hear first, so we just
Go
gonna
ahead,
jump right out there with that. I already want to hear I'm Still Alive. I definitely want to hear I'm Still Alive. Look, listen.
I thought you were gonna give me what you gave me at Vibes and Verses. Hit me with the I'm Still Alive.
You caught me off guard. I had to get my atmosphere ready. I moved my cheese and shit around because I know I'm gonna jump up and down when you start going and shit. So
right.
I definitely want to hear from my man is I'm Still Alive.
You actually got to hear me perform this at Vibes and Verses also. I'm gonna tell the people I'm a very handsy person. You know, I don't know, maybe it's an artsy part of me that I do a lot of movement when I talk. So excuse me that I'm on camera, on the phone, in the car, so you might not catch it the same way, but I will give you the same energy every time. Like you said, this is I'm Still Alive. I wrote this about 2010. For those that don't know, my mother's watching. She probably gonna cuss me out for telling y'all this. But I spent a lot of time incarcerated, and I think it's important that I tell people this, not as a brag, because it's shameful. You know, that means I lost. But I think it's important because the way I'm moving and the way I'm working and the way I'm putting things together, I think it's important for people to see that regardless of what the situation you've been in, you can overcome that. And there's nothing that can hold you back or stop you if you change your thinking and you move in a more positive nature and you move forward. Because trust, it's easy to fall back to the negative. It's easy to fall back to the BS. So I'm in the Moore Science Temple. My name is Victor Deloach Bay. Bay is not a change of my name, but an annexation that means governor. And in the Moore Science Temple, we take on L and Bay, L meaning creator, Bay meaning governor, to symbolize a connection back to our history.
Gotcha.
That's where it comes from. Now, I done had every position from Mufti to Grand Sheik, and as Grand Sheik, my brother spoke so well on the chapter that dealt with the death of Elizabeth, John the Baptist's mother. And at the time, it was a brother who just lost his sister. And that was just amazing to me that he was able to hold up and keep his composure the way he did. And I wrote this, and I'm always dedicated to these brothers, Lamberdale, Allen Bay, all these brothers, man, that was with me. Y'all know who y'all are. If I forget your name, I apologize. I'm sorry, Corbidell. Love y'all. Islam, peace. But this was written because of them. They inspired us.
Gotcha.
All right. Don't weep for me when I release this form. Stand strong, because I'm still alive. I've just moved on. Back to the source from whence I came. My spirit unites with ancestors on a higher plane. Let go of the physical, bask in the spiritual, one with the most high, where we takes place of I, and I unites with us, to supreme energy forms flesh from dust. Once again, because once again, with more lessons learned, I become the embodiment of the supreme being's strength, but in physical manifest. As I pass test after test, breath after breath, reincarnate stronger, death after death, as I bring more light, as I dispel wrongs, I bring more right, as I fought with and battled the darkness and shadows and soar, till I need flesh no more. So, don't weep for me when I release this form. Stand strong, because I'm still alive. I've just moved on. Back to the source from whence I came. My spirit unites with ancestors on a higher plane. Let go of the physical, bask in the spiritual, one with the most high, where we takes place of I, and I unites with us. To supreme energy forms flesh from dust. Once again, Because once again, with more lessons learned, I become the embodiment of the supreme being's strength, but in physical manifest. I'm still alive, y'all.
Bro, I love it, man. I love it. Every time you do
Thank
that
you.
shit, man,
Pardon me, y'all. I'm listening, brother.
every time you do that, it touches me. You know, I love this thing that we do because we can put words together that can help heal and affect people in different ways. And I didn't really realize it until the last few years, honestly. You know what I mean? But when I first heard you do that poem, I think we was all on a Zoom. And
right. Play rehearsal.
the dog, I'm telling you, that shit like bring chills through my body because it puts me in a place of remembering of where I was at one time. Like I said before, my wife and my family, if the devil had his way, would have been burying me in 2013, June 2013.
Right.
I'd have been gone. But he saw that there's something else. The reason why I'm still here, I feel as though it's because of what I'm doing now. But it's even more than that. But every time you say that shit, it puts me in a place of thankfulness. You know what I mean? Of like not forgetting. You know, even if because I go through a lot of shit, I go through depression sometimes, I go through all different types of emotions. But hearing certain shit like that right there, I could be in a state of depression and hear that, and that'll trigger something. Like this shit that we do is so serious. I'm almost ready to call it ministry, honestly, because I believe that's another form. I really do.
Right.
You know what I mean? I really do, man.
Hey, for
So you
those
said,
that know, the biblical scriptures say that, man, the church is not a place of brick and mortar. When two or more gather in my name, I'm there. So what people really have to realize, though, man, because I have my views and beliefs, and I know my views and beliefs are very unorthodox and are different than a lot of people's. But I've never been one to reject what other people think and believe, and I'm a firm believer, like you say, steel sharp steel. You know, iron sharp as iron, and I'm a firm believer that. You being a Christian, me being out the Moor side, this brother being Sunni, this brother being a Hebrew Israelite, whatever. When we come together and bring our minds together, that we're in that God mind. We're in that higher state of listening and of being. So being that moving in a positive nature, it shouldn't cause a person to feel harm and discomfort because you have a different view than I do. If anything, if you really stood strong in your foundation, what it should do is cause you to study more so that you can stand taller on what you claim to believe. Because how strong do you really believe if my views and beliefs can shake your faith? If what I know to be true can make you confused about what you know to be true. Now, me, I've learned to always be susceptible to change. Because the only way for you to really grow is if for you to sit there and learn and listen and speak and hear and be open to new information. You can't grow without change. You cannot grow without change. So the thing is that if what you're doing is helping you be a better person, to become a better man, woman, child, whatever, move on that. Is what you doing is not bringing harm to other people, man. It is, especially if it's enriching the lives of others, you know, your immediate circle first, because charity always starts with home. You know, with people that come into your circle, man, then do what you do. I'm full positivity, and I'm gonna always push anybody trying to do right. Even when I was in the low, running the streets, acting a nut, I promise you, I still talk for people to push them to do the right. I never tried to lead people down the path that I went to. So I just think it's important, man, that we take the time to grow and develop ourselves mentally and spiritually and keep our focuses right. And when we do that, we start coming at each other with peace and love. Like my lady will tell you, matter of fact, this poem I finished tonight. Literally, like I say, I finished it. I was finishing it when you sent me the link to get on to this podcast. There's a part in there where I use a word that I never use. And I'll explain that later. I don't want to spoil what I'm going to do, you know what I'm saying? But she said it's probably going to hit a lot of people because of something I don't do, but it's a reason I did. You know, so it's all about growth and change. And I try to get people to understand all the time that, because sometimes people take it when you see you change, they take it as you feeling that they're not good enough or what they gave you or your friends that you used to run with or your family that taught you this, that you're rejecting them. No. You were my foundation. You helped me to grow and develop into who I am. That I went a different path does not mean that you didn't teach me right. It's that you taught me so well that I was able to see past myself and past you to the lesson you gave and to grow and develop how I needed to grow and develop.
I love it. That's called, I look at that as seasons changing. It's a season for everything. You know what I mean?
And look, hey, pardon me a second, because the seasons got these attitudes.
I already know. You good, man. But it's seasons change, you know what I mean? And we gotta adapt to the change. And sometimes you look at the change as bad, but it's not. It's always, I believe, it's always something to put you in position for what's coming next. I feel as though we don't feel that, we don't see that at the time, but it's always we're put in a position to endure something, and then there's something on it. Like right now, I've been dealing with something for the last couple of days, but I know that there's some type of breakthrough get ready to happen. There's something stirring up. I already know how it works. I know how the devil works. I know all that, how that works. So by me pushing my brain and doing the things that I'm doing, if I'm feeling a certain way and I feel unsure about something's getting ready to go down. You know what I mean? Something's getting ready to go down. Now that poem that you just spit, I'm Still Alive. The inspiration. Now you got the inspiration of that when you was incarcerated with somebody that you knew. You said, right?
Well, no, I was like I said, I'm in the More Science Temple, and this was my brothers, my brothers in the temple, and like I say, the brothers was just speaking so well on that particular chapter, and it was one particular brother I was impressed on how he held up, because he literally at that moment, like that day, had just got a call about a loss in the family. And that caused me to sit there. I sit there listening to the brothers speak and everything, and I just started writing that poem. And I wrote that poem literally in probably about 10, 15 minutes. And I sat there and wrote it, listening to these brothers speak. And when I finished, and it was, I was a sheik at the time, I spoke last, I got up there, and that poem was what I gave them. I didn't even speak on the chapter for that night. I gave them that poem because they gave me the inspiration for that.
You shared that poem first incarcerated.
Yes.
And what was the reaction that you got after you shared that?
Man, like, brothers loved it, man. I mean, but some of the brothers already knew me and knew that I was good with my words,
Right.
It was telling on myself, but it's my first time being incarcerated. I was at Roxbury, and I actually had the freestyle crown the whole time I was up there. One of my other more brothers had the lyricist crown. I had the freestyle crown. The whole time we was up there together, we held them titles. Nobody could take it. And that's when I was 19, 20 years old, man, 40, almost 41, man. I still can move with them words, man.
When did you know that poetry, or, that your love for poetry and rhyming was something that you was good at? Like, when did you feel as though that was your lane that you would be comfortable in? When did you know that?
Like I say, taking it back to when my cousin caught me speaking, right? I felt then that I was there with it, but I was scared and I was shy. And when he gave me that confirmation, like, yo, cuz, you really good. Like I say, I believed him when he said that. You know what I'm saying? This is one of my closest cousins, one of my favorite cousins, and one of the cool cousins. You know what I'm saying? He's a year older, so we're close in age, so we was around each other a lot. Right. So as soon as he told me, cuz, you good, I said, okay, I'm good then. You see, I really didn't need much more than that, because I already felt something. I just wasn't sure. Confirmation from him was like, okay, he said, I'm good then. I know cuz not gonna lie to. My family, I love my family dearly, but they will crack on you and joke on you. You gotta have a thick skin of my family, man. You can't out-crack me. You can't make me feel bad about myself. You cannot do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care enough for you to do that. My loved ones, we go in on each other and we laugh about it. I be at a time, my lady, I found out when we started, like I said, when we actually started a relationship, I found out that we were high school. She used to give me the silent treatment for 2-3 days because I sit in a circle around my friends. You know what I'm saying? And I do this with people I care for, though. I can't sit there and just joke around with somebody I don't deal with or don't like. People I love, I guess it's my love language. And I would sit there, I don't care how pretty you was, how funny you look, whatever. Somebody got something to say about it. We sit there and crack and laugh. And I laughed and everybody else laughed because that's what we thought. They cracked back at me. It wasn't a problem. I didn't find out till 2019 that my lady Adesky was giving me the silent treatment for days. I thought I was just missing her around the school building.
You know, it's a different time now because we grew up like that. You know what I mean? We had I want to say like tougher skin, you know,
Right.
where
It was
we
a
did
car
stuff
bullying.
like that,
It
and
was a car
we
bullying.
yeah, right,
Like my
exactly. It
parents'
wasn't
days, it
really
was called, it was the Joneses. You know what I'm
right,
saying? When
right,
we was coming up, it was just cracking. And you
right,
did it.
right.
You knew what lines not to cross, who to cross them with, who not to cross. You knew that. And it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a beef. It wasn't a pick on nobody. Because I know me
Mhm.
and my friends, my circle of friends, I just sent a shout out to one of them, Jay Pirro, shout out to you again, my man James Neely. We used to rap together in middle school. Had a whole little group together, and one of our homeboys, Herbert Watson, mother was about to link us with somebody with Def Jam, and we just started arguing amongst ourselves and messed that up. We was in middle school already, spit the balls, and we would crack and talk about each other. Nobody had no hard feelings about it.
Right,
It was
right,
just something we did to kick the time and to be funny. You know what I'm saying?
right. Definitely, definitely. So, man, before I get you in much more conversation, I gotta have you spit something else. Um, whatever you feeling, man, just go ahead and go with it. You know what, too, before we get off later, I'm gonna try to get you to do because you do that freestyle poetry, and I only met one person that I know of that does that. Her name is Arthur Polar Shakespeare. Shout out to my sister Arthur Polar Shakespeare.
Okay.
I know that she does that at times, but I never really been around people who just do freestyle, just poetry, not rap, and just poetry off the top.
Right.
Shout out to our sister Shamice Jacobs is watching. We were at Vibes and Verses last week. Um, um, and Vic got on the mic towards the end and did a freestyle. I know that had to be like shit, 15 minutes, almost 10 minutes. It had to be, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it was just off the top. You could tell it wasn't nothing rehearsed. You know what I mean? It was just off the top and stuff like that. How do you do that? Like, what is it that you do that puts you in a mode to get to that, to do that? Like, you gotta be in the zone. Some of it, like I smoke, I'm a smoker. Some people
Right.
gotta smoke, some people gotta drink a little bit. They gotta do something to get them in that creative mindset to be able to do that. How do you go about and do that?
For me, I mean, yeah, I'm a smoker too, but I don't really think that's it though. I mean, for me, I tell the truth. For me, I already have a good mind. My mother, man, she's a wordsmith. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like right now, if she's watching this, she's probably saying something for me for saying, yeah, me. Like, I'm 40 years old, and if I call my mother on the phone and say, Mom, I'll hit you back later, she'll be like, who you talking to? All right, mother, I'll call you later.
Mhm.
So I'm like that now, and I grew up, and it was crazy because people feel like because you come up in a certain environment, a community, whatever, you're supposed to act a certain way. I have a
Mhm.
cousin who used to always tell me, yeah, Vic, a white boy for real, because I would be pretty eloquent with my speech. I use proper diction. I actually
Mhm.
had to learn to start slanging myself up a little more. Not because
Mhm.
I didn't know how to do it, but because my mother would tell me to speak correctly and to
Mhm.
mean what you say and to say
Mhm.
what you mean.
Mhm.
So I ended up being a little more direct. Sometimes I have to learn to pull that back because people take it as me being harsh or being mean or judgmental. It's really I don't know how to not BS you. It's hard for me to do that. So sometimes I get taken wrong because I'm being direct about something. But if I'm wondering, I don't keep wondering about you. I'm gonna ask you, hey, what's going on with this? So I heard this. What's up with that? Because I don't know how to do anything different. So I just got a love for words anyway. So stringing words together, and if I'm telling the truth, and because of the mother I have who used to have me at the Rosedale Library all the time, and who wouldn't just give me information, she would ask me, where'd you look? Where'd
Mhm.
you look? I ask her to this day, man, was she purposely doing some of this stuff to teach me how to study? And she ain't give me an answer yet. But it could have been the smallest thing. I see you with
Mhm.
the flashlight at 4 o'clock. I asked you at 7 with a flashlight. She'll say, where'd you look? You had it. So my mother taught me to go and find the information to learn to seek. So I learned to research and study, and it
Right.
caused me to read a lot.
Yeah.
And read a lot, you start learning words because I don't like people talking over me. Not saying that, if a person's more intelligent or has a broader grasp or understanding of something, I don't feel offended by that. But me, I'm kind of conceited when it comes to knowledge. I will listen to you because I don't know what you're talking about. Then I might go study what you were talking about and come back so I can talk to you on the same level, if not better. And that's just who I am. And my mother taught me to be that way. I don't look for people to dumb down for me. Not nothing against other people that do it, because I don't expect people to put in all the work that I put in with certain things. But I have a tendency, if I don't know, if I just don't care, I'm going to leave it alone. But for the most part, I'm going to go research and find out some things. I need to know.
Right. How often do you do that in what you write? Do you research the stuff that you be writing and thinking about when you putting your poetry together too?
Well, I like the news. I like to pay attention to what's going on anyway. So I try to be well versed on things anyway. And as far as like with books and writing, like I have an espionage book I have to complete. And part of it takes place in Ecuador. Man, I went and studied their staples. You know, what's their biggest imports. I went and studied like the airports and different communities in Ecuador and got notes and stuff on all that. So for something like that, I don't have the experience to not research that. But a lot of my music comes from experience. You know, if it isn't what I went through myself, I got somebody close to me that I sat there and held their hand through that, or gave them a hug, or gave them an ear. You know what I'm saying? Gave them $1 to help them, or whatever it is that I had some experience with, so I could speak on it from a level of understanding because I seen it, or I experienced it, or I was there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Man, we're going to go ahead and let you get into some more stuff, man, because I got to hear something else. So whatever else you want to spit, man, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and go for it.
This is what I'm going to do, right? Since, pardon me, y'all. I hate that this is happening while I'm on a live podcast.
Man, you good, man.
My mother gonna joke on me about that. She gonna crack on me. I know she laughing right now. She gonna crack on me. But what I'm gonna do is, since you asked me, telling me you want me to do something I'll be doing with us on the Zoom meetings and everything later, I'm gonna go ahead and give you what I just wrote today.
Okay.
Now, mind you, literally, why the sister Lady J sent me the Zoom link, I was typing the end of this poem.
Gotcha.
And this title, right now it's titled Addiction. I might change it because I know there's other poems titled Addiction, so I want to give it something more unique, but that's what it's based on. Here it goes. So right now, tertiary title, Addiction. There's a funny thing about addiction that's not so funny. It's not just the addict that's addicted to the drug, it's the hustler that's addicted to the money. Because he watched his mother work 2 full-times and a part-time, never once complaining about those hard times. Stayed with dad so the young sons could have a father figure, so that they could be something bigger than just another, hey, nigga. Forced to be less than, because ignorance taught them that their skin was sin and the inevitability was evident. Intelligence would never be enough. Character, morality, your spirituality would never be enough. And a culture created by your culture and appropriated by vultures that built wealth from free labor while telling you to use bootstraps, while they commanded with whips, lashes, and 2 snaps, and act surprised when centuries of abuse makes dudes snap. One guy treats his nose to escape, while another, overwhelmed with hate, takes to the kitchen, whipping, rocking up, hard white on the table, chopping up, because one felt that blast, the head rush and the crash would not take the pain away, but would give him just enough of that I don't give a fuck. That would make someone sane who became engulfed with pain, like a house in flames, chasing the flame that burns rocks on stems, entranced like a moth to it. Little girl turned crack whore because she seen her moms do it, and mama's boyfriends found her appealing when she was still adolescent. Mama closed her eyes and ears because she finally found that man that needed her with a godsend. Fuck little mama's innocence. Mama felt that little mama, real daddy, wasn't shit. So the least she could do was keep him happy. But this daddy wasn't her real daddy. He's strange, he's twisted, so he loves different. He gave not a father's affection, lust built from a need to control, so even his hug's different. So no wonder little white stones helped little mama escape the pain from home. And dude whose pain sent them to Cain. It was either that or be self-slain. That's a suicide. Or that cat who decided he won't struggle to have hungry seeds. So he traps day and night to feed money needs. And he's villainized to epitomize death incarnate for pushing poison to those who consign to their own fate. Never mind that 85% of new heroin users started with Oxycontins and perks. Doctor prescribed at the push of a pen for an injury from work. Fighting against medical marijuana, but it gives you dope in pill form. Hosts they hope to kill more while they send their progeny to the Fillmore. Big Pharma push big addiction, misery, pain, and affliction, building buildings for the old rich over 400 years under your oppressor's thumb, and they still on the same old shit. You want to know the funny thing about addiction that's not so funny? It's been cultivated in the psyche of the people for the rich to get more money.
Damn, bro. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Just finished that one for you, bro.
I love it, man. That is, like I told you, I got a poem that's called Addiction, but I've never heard it the way you did it with that scenario, the way that you flipped it from the hustler side of it, on that side of the addiction.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I talk about incarceration a lot because, first of all, and people who haven't committed crimes, who don't understand what sends a person down that road, really need to pay attention to what they do. I get punishment. I get that. I'm not saying that if you do something wrong, there should be no consequence. But what people don't realize is that the way prison is run in America, everyone in support of it is in support of slavery. Most people don't take time to read their Constitution and their amendments. Because you incarcerated a person like me, I sat and read and studied up.
Right.
I figured out what was going on out here, financially, politically. So if you read the 13th Amendment, which everybody attributes to freeing the slaves, what people don't understand is slaves were never free. Because the laws were changed. They were not ratified, because if you go back and read the Dred Scott decision, you'll learn in Dred Scott that Roger B. Taney, who was the Chief Justice in what was then called the High Courts of New York, which is now known as the Supreme Court, in his decision, when they voted, they sold Dred Scott right back into slavery when he was already given his freedom, had his freedom papers in court. But he said that he was a black man, a Negro. And a lot of people have a problem when I say to them, man, we not black. Oh, there you go with that more science stuff, that Muslim stuff. Man, ain't no such thing as black skin or white skin. Facts. You will never see a man's skin the color of your t-shirt. And you will have people probably on this podcast right now that say, shit, I know somebody black like that, black as night. No, you don't. You're a lie. I know somebody blue, black, purple, black. What else do we say that about but black? We don't say that so orange is red. We don't say things like that. But we're confused about some things. I know a lot of people ain't gonna like what I say. I understand the black power, black pride, all that. I love that. I'm supportive of my people. I love us like no other. But because of that, I understand how to use that 3/5 of a man clause. You see what I'm saying? Because what happened was they said that all creatures have mind, body, and soul. The thing that separates man from the lesser animals is nationality and divine creed. How can you have a nationality without a nation? Tell me what country black comes to. Tell me what country nigger, Negro, colored, or any of those things come from. You'll have some people say Africa. Africa's not a country. A nation is a country. A continent can never be a nation. So how can your nationality be African American when Africa's not a nation? It doesn't even make sense. But people have a hard time hearing this because we had to hold on to what we had to hold on to deal with the oppression and the abuse that we have endured since we've been in this country. So we can't hear when a person gives us facts and knowledge. Now, backtracking to that 13th Amendment, because don't think I forgot that. The 13th Amendment verbatim says neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist in the United States or its territories except for the punishment of a crime with one who's been duly convicted. It's a reason why prisons can pay a person $1 a day, because they're considered a slave. That's why you get a number. You are a number. You are warehoused in a prison, like a piece of property in an Amazon building. So the whole time, they telling people that we're paying out debts to society. We get paid $1 a day to work for 1 hour salary, or somebody making $15 an hour. You can get like 10, 20 workers to work all day. They have people working out Hagerstown in the agriculture department, planting trees, bro. Really learning horticulture, learning how to tell if a tree is poison, and they get paid $4 or $5 a day. So every time people vote for these harsher sentences and penalties, you're voting for slavery. Instead of creating a situation where people come out better. Now, to be honest, some people ain't gonna hear this, but Maryland probably does it better than a lot of places. There's a lot of shit that could be fixed there too. Because the whole system in the United States is fucked, period. Because we enslave more people. And I'm saying enslave, I'm not going to say incarcerate. Fuck that. We are enslaving more people than the next 5 largest countries combined. And I'm not understanding how we got all these movies and shows, Snowfall and all these things that came out with, what was it, Man-Made or whatever, Self-Made with what's the name, Tom Cruise, when they giving you the story of the Iran-Contra affair, where the government was using drugs, putting it in the communities of the poor, so-called minorities, so they could support and buy weapons for a war for the Contras in South America. We know for a fact that Edgar Hoover was flooding the projects with drugs because he was a racist motherfucker. I can't recall the politician's name, but when the weed laws was changed to incarcerate us, it was a politician who stood on the podium and said, we have to get rid of this marijuana scourge because it's making good white women have sex with niggers and spics. And to the day, we still have our own people demonizing marijuana when the marijuana was demonized just as another excuse to put us in prison. Not because it was a problem. It's medicinal. But they'll sell us alcohol, which poisons people. You literally get cirrhosis of the liver. You literally get yellow-jitis. Matter of fact, in prison, if you are a certified alcoholic, alcohol is the only drug that in prison they can't make you go cold turkey off of. Because it is the only substance, it's more deadly to go cold turkey to get off of alcohol than it is heroin, yo. You get the shakes and the DTs and can die trying to stay off of alcohol, man. But they'll give it to us. We go to the bar, drink up, go to the liquor store, buy bottles, as many bottles as you want, and drink as long as you want, as long as you in your home. But you want to incarcerate me for marijuana, something that helps with inflammation. Mind you, if you study, people will learn that your body produces small amounts of THC. Don't believe me? Look it up. That's why they test the levels. They don't test to see if you had marijuana. They test to see how high your level is. Because if you smoked a little marijuana, your level won't go high enough to be considered a dirty urine. The reason why cocaine and heroin, and there's so many cocaine and heroin addicts, because the cocaine and heroin is poison. It gets out your body in 2-3 days. So those people on parole and probation know they can sniff, bip up, shoot up, and go piss and be clean by the time it's time to piss. It's crazy. Because we live in a society that's conditioned and set up to put us in positions. Now, granted, we mess up. We fuck up and fall into it. Because if you notice, stay on the streets. But let's be real. What do you say to a child, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, who mother or father puts them out in the streets? What do you say to a girl whose mother is prostituting her for her drugs? Or sitting down with her, shooting up, sniffing drugs, sniffing dope? What do you say to a child who has to figure out where to lay their head, where to get food at? How you gonna tell somebody who can't even think because they too hungry that they need to think clear? How much sense did that make? The Chinese have a saying, bro. It says it's not criminals who commit the crimes in society that creates the conditions for crimes to be committed.
Yes.
It's a reason why certain societies have less crimes than others. United States is built to commit crime so that, and it's built to keep poverty. It's a reason why as soon as you turn 17, 18, they start sending you credit card applications. Our financial institution cannot function without that. You know why? Because the country itself is borrowing money. A country is borrowing money. How do you borrow your own money? You're borrowing money from an institution that has nothing to do with your country. If it's our country's money and the money belongs to the people, why are we borrowing it from the Federal Reserve? Now, that's a whole nother story that I'm not going to get into it because I might get shot if I talk too much. So bad. And I know somebody going to look at me like, this guy crazy. Nah, I read. Learn that.
I love it, man. And I love knowledge, man. I love knowledge. You always kicking some shit, man. Talk to me about this play that you guys have written and that we're doing on June the 9th.
Okay, I Am Woke. Poetrical Experience, June the 9th is going to be at La Familia Playhouse. We're going to have the Eventbrite link put up soon. You can find out anything about us if you go to our Instagram page, 4 Authors. That's the number 4_AUTHORS. I also have another page, Delvic Moving and Hauling. Now, that's my moving company, our moving company. We have this, man. My lady, Aneski, takes care of like almost all the administrative work, and she's a godsend for that.
Yeah, she awesome, bro.
Yeah, and we just literally got our first 5-figure contract. We going up Jersey this weekend to do a big clean out, man. And I know these workers I got is going to do a hell of a job. I'm gonna bust my ass because it's important that I promote and move to this next level, man. And as you know, we try to promote everybody we can. We also on the board of a magazine called Vital Magazine. We get you interviewed. The guy that owns it, Cornelius, has a talk show. Let's Talk with Cornelius Adams that comes on Channel 2. We can get you ad on there, interview to promote your business. So what we do is not just to push our sales, we try to push all those around us. You know what I'm saying? If we deal with you, we will promote your business. We're not worrying about competition. We don't believe in competition. At the end of the day, if we can win, y'all can win. When y'all win and we win, and if we figure that out and get that mindset that there's a we mentality and get this I stuff out of our heads, we'll stop falling. People being able to take our food because we keep giving it away. Instead of us sitting at the table, we open the table up for everybody else. It doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense.
Vic, I knew this interview was going to be off the hook with you, man. I got to have you back on because the time just goes so fast. You know what I mean?
Listen, my lady keep tapping the clock at me. She tapped the clock at me a couple times.
You know what I love about y'all too? She always got your back. When we was at Vibes and Verses, shout out to Shanice. We was at Vibes and Verses last week, and you was doing your poetry. She recorded you, but at the same time, she in your corner, she the fan. Yeah, baby, go, yeah. Like I love that shit. I love it.
That's my baby.
Keep each other on point. And
I love that lady.
Yo, the sky's the limit for George, man. I'm telling you, it's a pleasure.
Listen, bro. When my mother started, my mother loved me to death, and she gonna support anything I do positive. But she not a fool, and she gonna tell you, I don't know about that. You might need to try something different. When my mother starts saying, go here, and I know most people, oh, that's your mother. Nah, my mother don't play that. She not gonna tell you jump off a cliff. She gonna say, "Oh, you getting too close to the edge. You need to pull back." She not gonna tell me go ahead if she don't see that there's a road in front of me. So when she can see a road in front of me, for real, I could easily say I'm my biggest critic. She's a bigger critic than me. She's a bigger critic than me. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's all out of love, and I know it's all sincere. So I'm always paying attention when she tells me. So I know we going to win.
Absolutely, you winning now. You're gonna continue to win. But Vic, before we go, man, what would you say to these young brothers out here that's trying to stay out of trouble and do the right thing when they in an environment that's telling them otherwise, that they're not going to do?
Right. Well, I'm gonna say this first of all. If you haven't started down that wrong road, don't start, because that's the biggest trap. It's not the streets itself. It's once you get caught up, it don't matter if you in the right. You can get accused and blamed, but they're going to take their word for it. I've been incarcerated for things I ain't had nothing to do with. I've been arrested for things I ain't had nothing to do with. Not saying I'm no angel, but once you put that stigma on you, it make it easier for them to snatch you up. I don't care what you're going through. I'm going to tell you, my worst day on the streets is still better than my best day incarcerated. Bar none. Bar none. And I'm telling you, take the time now, man, to figure out what you got to do. Get you a mentor. My mother been telling me this my whole life. Get you a mentor. Talk to somebody. Find somebody you can speak to. Find somebody you can get that support from. If you're old enough, if you're 16 and your parents is that whacked out, petition to get yourself emancipated. If your life is that hard, and learn to take responsibility for yourself if you think you can. If you have the mind to it, get that diploma, get that education, get that certification. Everybody got to go to college. Go get your CDLs. Go be a plumber. Do something. But do something to make sure that you can support yourself, because once you step down that wrong road, reversing that is the hardest thing in the world to do. Trust me. It's the hardest thing in the world to do.
I love it. Brothers, if y'all listen, any knuckleheads out there that's watching, man, it's coming from the real deal right here. You know, as y'all say, a real one. He definitely is one. Yeah, so you definitely want to listen up, man, because when we was coming up, we listened to the OGs. Nowadays, y'all just not all of y'all, but some of them don't want to hear that shit. You know, and it could be some of the situations.
Little black boy.
Right. You know what I mean? Anything with your hands, just keep up your grades. Learn a trade. But yeah, man. But look, June 9th, y'all. Y'all want to follow us, follow Full Office. They always got something going on. Y'all don't want to miss this play June 9th. I'm telling you, this is the start of something beautiful. It's going to be something that we're trying to keep going. I am blessed to be able to have met Aneski and Vic here because they're powerful and they're positive, and I love it. I love their energy. I love their vibe. I love what y'all doing, bro. It's a pleasure to be a part of what y'all doing. Again, tell us about the play, the date, and where it's going to be at again.
Iowa, June 9th at La Familia Playhouse. It's down there on Madison and Guilford. Please tap in, folks. We trying to do some stuff when we introducing people. We bringing out some of the best poets in the city, man. It's a great venue. We're going to have great vendors there. We try to open our city in a positive way. People have been trying to do it forever. It's time that we start supporting each other in our city, man. Stop hating on each other, man. Stop trying to stop another person's shine to get yours. Shine together.
That's right. That's right. What's for you is for you. It's going to happen for you. No matter what. Man, I appreciate you, brother. Say hello to your lady for me. I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow at the Zoom meeting. I am definitely looking forward to it. I appreciate everybody for watching. Follow this couple. I'm telling y'all, 4 authors. If you got a book that you need published, go and call these people, man. They Black owned. They're going to put you in the right position. They're not going to bullshit you, I'm telling you. So you want to follow 4 authors on Instagram. Y'all on Facebook too, or YouTube or anything like that?
Not the 4 authors page, the Loach Bay page is, but you can link through all that through 4. Well, not link. We ain't got the web link set up, the link tree set up. But you can tap in and figure out what's going on, man. It's not hard to figure out because we out there. We make sure we announce everything. We always post flyers. We do flyer work. We do all that. We publish this stuff. Yeah, I'm putting you to work, baby. But yeah, we got it. When you see most of the flyers you see on our stuff that has to do with events we're involved with, they were done by 4 authors.
Absolutely.
Tap in, right? The authors, Lover X Reek, one of our bestseller author right now, has a book, Drowned in Love Stories Told By. Please tap in with this sister. She done went to Texas and spreading the word, man. She's doing her thing. She's a wonderful sister, beautiful. Listen,
what's the name of the book again?
Drowning, Love Stories Told By Lover X Reek. It's on Amazon, like everything else. Also, check out WWMAD, What Will My Ancestors Do? Check out Poison Ivy, Poison Ivy 2 coming out soon. Man, we got plenty of stuff. Just look us up. Check us out on Amazon, man. You'll see what it is. We doing our thing for real.
Absolutely, brother. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Say hello to Oneski for me, y'all. Y'all be safe out here. I appreciate you coming on. Like I always said, we want to be blessed. We got to bless somebody else. Right. Be safe, bro. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man.
All right, brother. I was